What is a symbol? Webster tells us that a symbol is something that stands for or suggests something else by reason of relationship, association, convention, or accidental resemblance, ESP, a visible sign of something invisible. Emphasis mine throughout. This is important to know because when we see a symbol we now know that there is a meaning behind what is actually being shown, since a symbol is a visible sign of something invisible. A related word, symbolism, is the use of conventional or traditional signs in the representation of divine beings and spirits. This, too, is important because many of these symbols also represent gods and goddesses. Since this book will be covering many occultic and Masonic symbols, a few quotes from Masons about symbols would be in order. Masonic author, George H. Steinmetz, shares the following: the symbols are not used in the commonly accepted meaning. It is not by exact resemblance, there is a more recondite, meaning occult or esoteric, interpretation. As we suspected, it is one of suggestions or association in thought. There is a secret doctrine in Freemasonry. That secret doctrine is concealed, rather than revealed, by the very lectures which, we are told, offer a rational explanation of the ceremonies of initiation. If we were to accept these rational explanations as final, and seek no further, Freemasonry would be a farce. Italics and caps in the original, boldface added. Carl Claudy, a Masonic writer, mentions that there are secrets inside secrets in symbolism. He wrote, "Cut through the outer shell and find a meaning, cut through that meaning and find another, under it if you dig deep enough you may find a third, a fourth, who shall say how many teachings?" In an Eastern Star book we are told, a symbol is a figure of something intellectual, moral or spiritual, a visible object, representing to the mind the semblance of something which is not shown but realized by association with it. Albert Mackey, a well-known Mason, writes that a symbol is a sensible image used to express an occult but analogical signification. Another book reminds us that an emblem is a figure or symbol which stands for something else. We are also told that there is a hidden meaning to these symbols, so what is presented to the candidate is not what is really meant. Eastern Star writer, Mary Ann Slipper, states that everyone who becomes a member of the Order of the Eastern Star should be familiar with the esoteric meaning of every symbol used in the work. One short talk bulletin, which was supposed to be read in the lodge, says, "It may be asserted in the broadest terms that the Freemason who knows nothing of our symbolism knows little of Freemasonry. He may be able to repeat every line of the ritual without an error, yet, if he does not understand the meaning of the ceremonies, the signs, the words, the emblems and figures, he is a Masonic ignoramus." Throughout this book we will be looking at numerous symbols and will discover some of the hidden meanings behind these symbols. We will also see how various symbols represent pagan gods and goddesses. Additionally, we'll learn how many emblems conceal and shroud sexual connotations under the guise of symbolism. Charles G. Berger explains, "At first, in art, the sex organs were represented by pictures of them, but as man developed and ideas of morals changed, such representations seemed offensive or crude, and they were therefore gradually modified until the symbols could scarcely be recognized as sexual in origin. Other explanations and meanings were invented for the masses, who were not supposed to understand the true meanings. Thus, symbols came to have two meanings, the esoteric and the exoteric. The esoteric meaning was the true or original meaning, understood by only a few and closely guarded by them. The exoteric meaning was the invented, or modified, explanation intended for the many. The sacred mysteries, which are often mentioned in connection with many ancient religions and which were closely guarded by the initiate, concerned esoteric meanings in the religions of previous times. These sacred mysteries very often were merely continuations of the simpler forms of early sex worship carried on by a select few. The migration of symbols also states, without doubt the symbols that have attracted in the highest degree the veneration of the multitude have been the representative signs of gods, often uncouth and indecent. Is this really the way we want him, no longer King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but just another guest at the table? Since the sexual nature of many symbols is now concealed under other guises, the average person no longer realizes the vulgarity behind many of them. Many organizations, however, use particular symbols and logos intentionally knowing precisely what is being represented thereby. Multitudes of occultists, New Agers, witches, and Satanists understand the meanings of the symbols they use. On the other hand, many people are using these same symbols, or variations of them, today without knowing what they really represent. Hopefully, this book will show numerous symbols and explain the esoteric meaning of many of them so that the average person can be more aware of what is being portrayed behind some of the emblems being used. We must remember that even though many leaders are aware of symbology, not everyone who uses these symbols in their logos, etc., are familiar with the pagan connotations behind them. For example, we cannot just assume that everyone who wears a pentagram is evil and knows that this emblem is used extensively in Satanism and witchcraft. Many people do not know this and they innocently wear satanic and pagan symbols. We must be careful not to accuse everyone who uses these symbols as being an occultist or New Ager. Of course, if we know that a particular group is an occultic association, then the symbol that they use should not be taken lightly. Many of the people who design the logos know exactly what they are doing. We will cover many of these logos in this book and give their own explanations about the particular meaning behind the design selected. Some people try to make some of the occultic symbols into Christian symbols, such as saying that the pentagram represents the 5 wounds of Christ or that the triangle is a symbol of the Trinity. We cannot do this, for the Bible says in Deuteronomy 4:15-19, 23, "Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves, and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth, unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, and the moon, and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them, and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything, which the Lord thy God hath forbidden thee." God does not want us to make any image of him in any way. Forasmuch then as we are the offspring of God, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold, or silver, or stone, graven by art and man's device, Acts 17:29. When the Israelites went into pagan nations, the Lord instructed them to overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God, Deuteronomy 12:3-4, see also Deuteronomy 7:5. Deuteronomy 7:25-26 says, "The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire, thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it, but thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing." Although there are numerous symbols given throughout this book, this is definitely not an exhaustive itemization. Many other symbols could have been included, but because of time and space considerations, they were left out. The symbols included here, however, should give you a good start in being able to identify many occultic logos that are appearing today.